Hello, hey. So the British accent's not gonna work. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Sarah Hannah back at again with another video. So you guys are probably like, hey, oh, another ASMR video, or like, I don't know, hide and seek YouTube video. Is that what people do? I don't know. But no. Today we're gonna be talking about poetry. I'm probably sitting in my chair right now, like embarrassed. It's okay. We're not gonna put that in. We're gonna be talking about poetry.
Slam poetry, yelling, angry, waving my hands a lot.
Okay, not that kind of poetry. That isn't even poetry, but like, yeah, good movie, right? But no, we're gonna be talking about Sylvia Plath. One of the most dynamic and admiring person of the 20th century. She has like accomplished so many things and like has been through so much just in like 30 years. So yeah. But why talk about her when we can actually go see her? You guys are like, Sarah, what? She's dead, you know, like what? It's a thing called time traveling. So I made a time traveling machine, built it myself. So yeah, this is my time traveling machine. We're gonna go in it and travel back in time to 1932. Bye, guys. Alright. Oh my gosh. Where are we? Here we are in Boston, Massachusetts, October 27th, 1932. You guys are probably like, Sarah, why are we here? Well, inside there's a baby, so we're gonna see it. Today is that baby's birthday. And that baby is Sylvia Plath. I don't know why I said her name like that, but yeah. So keep in mind that I'm like a time traveling like ghost, so no one can see me. So that baby doesn't even know I'm here. I mean, even if the baby did know, baby. Here we have Sylvia Plath's mother, Aurelia Schober Plath. This is her father, Otto Plath. He was a professor of biology at Boston University and authored a book about bumblebees. This was because he was an entomologist. Definition time with Sarah. Ew, is moving. Ew. So, an entomologist is a scientist who studies insects. Mr. Plath specialized in bees. Bees will be the subject of many of Plath's poems. I could never be an entomologist.
Ew, I'm gonna throw up.
Fast forward to 1940. Otto Plath thinks there's something medically wrong with him.
I'm telling you, I think I have lung cancer.
So, fortunately, he didn't have lung cancer, but unfortunately, he did have diabetes. And this was the cause of his death. He died a week and a half after Sylvia Plath's 8th birthday. The death of Sylvia Plath's father was pretty hard on Sylvia, but this led her to write poems. She published her first poem in the Boston Heralds at age 8. Age 11, Plath began keeping a journal. Even in her youth, Plath was ambitiously driven to succeed. She also had an IQ of around 160. After publishing a number of works, she got a scholarship to Smith College in 1950. Hey guys, we're in New York City during the summer of 1953. Sylvia is a student here, working for Mademoiselle magazine as a guest editor. Fast forward a little after. Sylvia cannot be found. It has been 3 days. Plath's missing has been all over the newspaper. Plath was found 3 days later in a crawl space underneath her house. This was her first medically documented suicide attempt, taking her mother's sleeping pills. Later, she wrote that she blissfully succumbed to the whirling blackness that I honestly believed was eternal oblivion. Alright, now it's 1955, and unfortunately I can't show you Sylvia right now because she's getting her degree at Smith's. Woo! Yeah, so she got treatment at a mental health facility and she recovered, went back to school. and now she's getting her degree. So you guys are probably wondering why it's all blurry and stuff, but this is how Sylvia Plath described her experience when she was at Smith. She explains it as if it was like looking through a bell jar, distorted, blurry. Later on, she ends up publishing a novel called The Bell Jar, which was influenced from her experience here at Smith and other major events in her life. Okay, I know you guys want Sylvia Plath right now, but she's on a plane to England. I gotta fly there soon. But she's going to England because she got a Fulbright scholarship to go to the University of Cambridge. Despite her deep depression, she was so successful in everything she did. So I'll meet you when I'm in England. Yeah. Okay, I lied. I'm not gonna give you Sylvia right now because she's partying. And I'm young, so I can't even get in, even though I'm like time traveling. So I decided to wear a fun party shirt to like
make you feel like you're at a party.
So I can tell you what's going on right now because I can like see the past or the present because we're in the past and I'm looking at. So right now, Sylvia is walking in the party. She's already drunk. She's already hammered. She's going in and she sees this guy. He's like handsome, very like has a seducing look to him, and she immediately knew who this guy was. It was Edward Hughes, also known as Ted Hughes. He's a poet, very famous poet, and she knew some of his works. So immediately she goes up to him and recites words from his poem. He's like shocked. He's like, whoa, who's this girl? Whatever. So they're dancing, whatever, like it's cool. And then he kisses her hard. I know this is like supposed to be PG, but like he kisses her and we're like, yo. So you thought that was like over PG. Now listen to this. Sylvia Plath bites his face. Yo, I don't know about you. I don't. Anyways, like bites it hard. Like it leaves a circle mark. Ted's like, you what? Like whatever. He didn't say that, obviously. But I think that was his reaction, similar to it. Like, and he's like, he liked it. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You know what? Doesn't bother me. So like, he liked it, and he kind of describes it as like that kind of made them meant to be. 'Cause the shape was like some planet, which had something to do with like fate and the stars. So yeah, that's happening right now as we speak. Good thing I wasn't there. I don't think you guys wanted to see that, so. Woo. Here they are, a few months later, getting married. Only a few months, but their love was said to be one for the books. Hey y'all, new location because I traveled back to the present. I didn't want to go through the experience that Sylvia was going to have, so I'm going to explain what's going to happen. So basically, Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath got married and they moved back home to Massachusetts. That's where she was teaching and he was writing poems, and they realized they just weren't happy there, so they moved back to England. This is where she published her first collection of poetry, The Colossus, in 1960, and she had her first daughter, Freda. 2 years later, she had her son, Nicholas. Unfortunately, her marriage was falling apart. Later, she found out that Ted Hughes was having an affair with this lady named Assia. And this threw Sylvia Plath into a deep depression. She had 2 kids. But this is where she had her creative outburst, writing poems every day. And later on, this was combined into one of her most famous novels, Ariel. Unfortunately, it got too much for her, and she ended up taking her own life by putting her head in an oven, dying from carbon monoxide poisoning. She was only 30. But you're wondering, how did her kids not die? Well, the night before, she taped all of the doors so the carbon monoxide wouldn't get in. She put like rags in between like the frames, and she even like prepared them a meal. She knew a nurse was gonna come the next day to help out, so this is where she thought, like, I have to do it because my kids will get help from this nurse. Ted Hughes became her literary director after Sylvia Plath's death. Although some people thought he changed some things, or like how he was portrayed in these poems, he still published some of her greatest works in Ariel. The poem I chose was Lady Lazarus.
Dying is an art, like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I've a call. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's the theatrical comeback in broad day to the same place, the same face, the same brute, amused shout, a miracle that knocks me out. There is a charge for the eyeing of my scars. There is a charge for the hearing of my heart. It really goes. And there is a charge, a very large charge, for a word or a touch or a bit of blood or a piece of my hair or my clothes. So, Herr Doctor, so, Herr Enemy. I am your opus. I am your valuable. The pure gold baby that melts to a shriek. I turn and burn. Do not think I underestimate your great concern. Ash, ash, you poke and stir, flesh, bone. There is nothing there, a cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Hear God, hear Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air.
That poem is pretty brutal, and like there's like you can feel the anger within the voice, but at the same time, in the end, it has a lot of hope and like empowerment. It's the type of hope that you would have no matter how hard the situation gets. So the title Lady Lazarus refers to the biblical story of Jesus rising up Lazarus from the dead. She compares it as herself being also risen from the dead due to the many suicide attempts she had throughout her life. So there's one line that said, dying shouldn't just be theatrical, it should be a theatrical comeback. So this suggests that suicide should be faked or eluded in some way. So this kind of suggests that Sylvia Plath expected to survive her last suicide attempt. Throughout the poem, she has rhyme schemes, so there's always something to bring you back. If you like wander off, there's a rhyme that sucks you back in. She ends the poem with the line, "And I rise with my red hair and eat my men like air." So this refers to the Romanian mythological Stoje, which is also known as the modern vampire. So vampires are usually described as pale and have orange or ginger hair. So this is what she refers to by in the line, "I rise up with my red hair." So because vampires are people from the dead. And then she explains, "And I eat my men like air." So this is like vampires, how they suck blood from people, eventually killing them, and they do this effortlessly, like it is just eating air. This is what she means by the last part of the poem. 5 facts about Sylvia Plath. Plath's son, Nicholas, also committed suicide. At age 47, he hanged himself during a bout of depression. Second fact. Remember the woman Ted Hughes had an affair with, Asia Level? Well, she gassed both herself and her 4-year-old daughter in the kitchen of their home in 1969. Third fact. At age 12, Sylvia Plath's IQ was 160. Fourth fact. She originally published The Bell Jar under her pen name, Victoria Lucas. She published this under the name because she didn't want to upset like her mother or anyone who is mentioned in the book. Last fact. Plath received electroshock therapy for her clinical depression. Hope you enjoyed my video on Sylvia Plath. Hope I educated you. And yeah, time traveling is real, so. Okay, I should stop now. I'm gonna